well, could you do a class on posing? Well, everybody is posed differently, right? So if I do a class on posing with Erica and your model's not Erica, it's not going to really be the same. So those aren't, we found, haven't been the most effective.
We might be live. Hold on.
Oh, we might be live. Hey guys, so if you're live and you're listening.
Live.
Oh, we're live everywhere?
Jesus.
Let me get in the middle.
Whoops, wait, hold on. I'm all out of sync. You can make fun of me. It's okay.
No, I'm not going to make fun of you. I would never do that. Have we been live the whole time?
You're up.
Hey, we're live. So I was given a soliloquy. That's called a soliloquy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. And see, you didn't know I was going to throw that word out there, did you? Right. So here we are. This is I think the semi-annual, that's what it's called when you do it twice a year? Semi-annual, how to shoot with inexpensive lighting class. If you've ever watched one of these before or been to one before, I generally try to mix it up and try different stuff. So that's why there was a lot of people online who were like, what are you going to use? I actually wasn't really sure until I walked in today. I actually asked the salespeople in the store. I say, what's inexpensive that you guys sell a lot of that people seem to like? And then I always grab my Smith Victor light because I always show that one because that's my favorite. But so I have a couple of different strobe lights, flashlights to show, and also the hot light. And we're going to basically walk through and create some portraits of Erica. This is Erica.
Hi.
We got Seth on the Mighty Mix, who we're all thrown off now. All right, so there we go. By the way, no, that was awesome, yes. I gave you the Seth's over here in the Mighty Mix. So I'm Daniel, if I said Daniel Norton. So I'll try to, especially in this one, say everything that I'm using. If I don't or you want me to repeat it, let me know. If you have questions, ask. This isn't so formal where I'm like planning on doing an exact portrait or whatever, so we can play around with the tools we have to create different kinds of shots. And I will say this, in this space, we have C-stands, which is what we always use. These are not inexpensive. Although Flashpoint, which is the house brand, makes C-stands that are not super expensive, but they're like $100, so that's not super inexpensive. A lot of the inexpensive lighting kits come with standard stands. So I'll try not to use too many of the special functions of the C-stand, except for the special function of being cool, because you can't turn that off. So yeah, so anyways, we'll start with the hot light, because I always like to go that way. So,
They like your shirt.
Oh, and by the way, I'm hawking stuff today, if you guys want to buy stuff. There's a shirt with my picture on it that you can buy.
You have no shame.
I have no shame. Daniel wants to buy new stuff in 2019, so I put myself on a shirt. I was like, what would you want to put on a shirt that you'd actually wear? A picture of me. I mean, come on. No, I'm just fucking. All right, so anyways, a cup of coffee would also be cool on a shirt. Maybe we're working on that. So we're going to get Erica in one next time because she'll look better at it than I do. So if you want to buy a Daniel Norton shirt, you can buy them on Amazon, actually, believe it or not. I swear to God, it's so weird. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to use my Canon, which is not inexpensive. It is a 1DX Mark II. You could use any camera. This is the one I have. I often get the question, hey, when you're doing this inexpensive lighting class, why don't you use a Rebel or something? Because I don't own a Rebel, and it doesn't really matter, you know. Besides, I know you guys, and you all save up your pennies, and you buy the most expensive lenses and cameras you can, and then you go to the lighting department, and you go, I need lights, and I have $3. You know, that's you, right? You know it. You all know it. So you all have expensive cameras. All right, so that being said, I am tethered into Capture One, which, by the way, just got upgraded to Capture 112 today, which I have to look at.
Yeah, it looks really good.
I hate that. Okay, anyways. So Capture One is going to allow us to make photos and have them appear instantly in the computer. So I'm tethered into that. I'm using them in photo tripod. People always ask that. But let's get to the lighting. So pound for pound, dollar for dollar, you're going to write this down. This is good. This is important. Tungsten bulbs, Photoflood bulbs, are probably your best option if you're on a budget. Okay, they look like, I have an idea. They look like regular light bulbs. However, Photoflood bulbs are more powerful, thus brighter, and also consistently color correct. They are 3200 Kelvin, which means that if you set your camera on tungsten or 3200 or indoor or whatever your camera has, and you use these, you will get correct color. Not only that, they're very cheap. These are like $5, right? Now, you might say, Daniel, if you were talking to me or somebody else if you were talking to them, can I just go to Home Depot or some other home improvement store that I agree with their politics and buy one of these? Yes, you can. However, those are generally rated for about 60 watts. So if you go to a hardware store and you buy one of these reflectors, look at your cable, make sure it's rated for enough watts of the bulb that you put into it, okay? These are 250 or 500. This is rated for 600. So you could buy this and put a less wattage bulb, you can't do the opposite. So just be wary of that. I believe this entire kit, which is a Photoflood, right, the unit, a Photoflood bulb. It sucks that it's the same name for both pieces. And a stand, which I didn't unpack, is like $75 or $80. Special price for you guys. Note, these bulbs have about a 10-hour lifespan, which doesn't sound like a lot, and it's not, but they're $5, right? So you buy this, if you're shooting once in a while, you throw a bulb in, you shoot, you're good to go. If you're shooting every day, you'll want to step up from this. You're going to spend a little bit more for a halogen style, except from Lowel, which we sold out of, so I didn't have one to show, but Lowel makes a whole bunch of them. You're going to spend maybe $100 for the fixture or $150. You'll get bulbs that last hundreds of hours. So this kind of depends on how much you're shooting, okay? So these are a great place to start. So anyways, if you look at, because I know what you're saying Daniel, but I love LED lights, because I see I can get an LED light for 4 cents. For 4 cents, I can get an LED light that's 7,000, I look all over the place. All right, not 4 cents, I don't make $40. LED lights, by their nature, are missing or they have spikes in the spectrum of light, okay? No matter what color they are. They say they're daylight, they say they're tungsten. They're missing or they have exaggerated colors. They're a discontinuous spectrum. What that means is you cannot get accurate color. Can you get good looking color with some of them? Sure. But you can't get accurate color. So you can get an LED light pretty inexpensively and they'll last forever and they're this big, but you're not very bright and your color is not going to be pure. Now, are there LED lights that have really good color? Yes. They're too expensive for me to show you on the inexpensive lighting demo. So know that you get what you pay for in LED lights, okay? Same with fluorescent, basically. So those are your other two options as far as your constant light sources that are most common. If you're on a budget, this is definitely pound for pound, dollar for dollar, the best. If you got a little bit more budget, some LEDs are good. You're gonna be spending at least, I'd say 600 plus for a decent LED fixture, in my opinion. That seems fair, 600 bucks? $500 to $600, yeah. At that point, you start getting decent ones. That's per fixture, okay? So, Photoflood, accurate color, cheap, right? Also, you've got different sizes of these dishes. This is a 10, I think. You can get bigger ones and smaller ones. I'm gonna move it closer.
There you go.
There we go, booby.
What is this?
I say booby. All right. A lot of people make these. I actually really like these Smith Victor ones. They're like super old, style. They haven't changed them since, like electricity was invented. And they work, So I'm a big fan of them. You can take the socket out and put it into something like a lantern, like a Chinese lantern, and get different kinds of light. You can do a lot of things with them. I'm in favor of them. I think they're a good way to go, and we'll start with this, right? And we'll show you kind of the quality of light, and we'll work from there. So again, this is a tungsten light, which means I'm gonna wanna set my white balance on tungsten, or if I do not, my images will be very, very warm, right? So let me go to I guess I'll do it from the camera. I'm gonna go to my camera.
Thoughts on the Rotolight?
Rotolight, boy, the Rotolight reps love to be in our stream. Everybody asks about that every time. The little Rotolights, they're decent. They're not inexpensive though.
Are they missing colors?
Yes, all LEDs are on discontinuous spectrum. All, even the really expensive ones. They're just better ones and worse because they have different ways of compensating from it. It is the nature of LED. Okay. All right, so here we go. The beauty of this is, I'm using the 24 to 70. People always ask that. I'm gonna probably be around 50 millimeter, I guess. Yeah, 50. That sounds like a good place to be, right? 50. So I'm somewhat limited. There is one advantage of using a constant light source is that you can use the meter in your camera, right? Because the sun or the world or whatever, is a constant light source. So I'm gonna use my camera meter to figure out my exposure. So I'm gonna turn this on, don't look right at it. Whenever you're using these lights, you gotta turn them on. You wanna tell your subject, hey, I'm gonna turn the light on. If you wanna sound cool, you can be like, striking. What will immediately happen when you say you're gonna turn the light on is what? they're going to look right at it. That's what they always do. So put your hand in front of it. All right, there we go. So you can see it's a nice bright light. This is brighter than the light that's in an Easy Bake Oven. Okay, see that? Thanks, Erica. All right, so this is only 10 inches, which is smaller. You know, it's about the same size as Erica's head. So at this distance, remember the hardness and softness of your light is determined by its size relative to your subject. So at this distance, it's going to be a hard light on Erica. We can see the hard lines from the light. This is not necessarily a bad thing, but it is what it is. Okay, so actually, I'm just going to go like this. So now, the first question I'm going to get is, Daniel, there's a shadow on the wall. That's not a question, it's a statement, by the way. How do we get rid of the shadow on the wall? Well, your shadow is always going to be opposite where your light is, right? So if there's a shadow there, that's because where my light is. So I could either raise my light, which you can see the shadow on her face changing, right? You guys can see that? There's a certain place where that becomes terrible, especially if the light's close to her, right? See the difference? Move the light further away. You see how it's getting better? So I can do that, which drops it, and I can also move it to the side. I can also move her further from the wall, closer to my camera, right? Which then changes the position of the shadow. So all those things can be used to control where our shadow falls. You can come closer. Yeah, we would like to have good shadows, or lack of shadows. Okay. All right, so I'm going to use a meter in my camera, which is very exciting. I can see the shadow on the wall a little bit, but I don't care. All right, so I'm looking through the camera. I'm currently at 250 at f4, 100 ISO. I can say right now I'm probably going to want to go to a faster ISO. I'll go to 400, because that seems reasonable. That was, you know, Tri-X. Seth is going to tell me it was 320, but you know.
It was 320 at 400.
I know. Okay. So I'm going to go 2.8 because why am I going to 2.8? Because I spent a lot of money on this lens. It's 2.8 lens. You know I'm going to use it. Like, yeah, okay. All right. So, yeah. And we're going to go like that. We'll take a picture. Bring your chin up a little bit. Okay. And we'll take a shot. No flash went off because we didn't use a flash. I have my light set on tungsten. So what do we have? A decent exposure, actually. Good job, Canon.
What metering did you use?
I used the metering that is the metering in the camera. I don't know. I'm assuming it's the metering is the box, which is called evaluative, I believe. Yeah, evaluative meter. I could also do, if I knew how to change it. Oh, there we go. There's center weighted, and yeah, I'll do center weighted. Let's do center weighted. That always sounds cool. You can do 3D color matrix if you're a Nikon. Didn't change much. In this situation, you know, metering isn't hugely important. Didn't change her exposure much, right? If you're shooting something that's really heavily backlit or something, it might make a difference. But we can see this is kind of a hard light. It's kind of coming through. But what's nice about this style of light, this hard light, is if you look at her eyes, they're starting to come alive a little bit, right? You get this kind of glow inside of it because the light's punchy, right? It's punchy. It's shooting right through her. So that's fine, right? And you can get a set of two of these. And you can light stuff up. And I'm shooting at 400 ISO, 1/100th of a second, 2.8, right? And we can make all kinds of different styles of shots with this. We could do something a little more dramatic, which is what I like to do. I'm all about the drama for your mama. What's that? Fluorescent lights are also of a discontinuous spectrum. Fluorescent, I know, right? Right in the blind. One advantage of these lights is something I just did, which was really mean, but I like to do it anyways because I'm a mean person. And I'm going to do it to the audience now. They hate me because I'm going to point it this way. I probably should put it on the other side.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, all right, here we go. I know, they're all like, Dave would have put it on the other side. Well, you know what? I'm not Dave. All right, here we go. All right. So let's do more of a profile. Because I'm all about the profile. There we go. See, I didn't want to do this side because this is not your good side. Or is it your good side? Oh, this is the good side, okay.
This is where my beauty mark is.
Oh, that's where it is.
The beauty mark.
Oh, the beauty mark, okay. All right. So now I'm doing more of a profile. And so where's my shadow? Everybody's blind, they can't tell. Back there, right? Yeah, so I don't have to care about it. Nobody cares about that shadow. Gonna come in. And let's see. Now, it's a little hot, right? So if you are hot, you could do a few things. I'm in manual, which is how I like to fly. If you are in, aperture priority or something, you could do your exposure compensation. But I'm actually too hot because I didn't remeter it when I moved the light because I've been spoiled by TTL. It has ruined all my skills as a photographer. All right, here we go. All right, so there we go. Now, right? Now we're at the exact same exposure because for some reason I didn't change it. I was talking and I didn't change the exposure. Am I supposed to change the exposure? I'm not sure. All right, so it's showing it's too bright. All right, so I'm going to come down. I'm now at 1/160 over 2.8, right? And there we go. Now, of course, you can use, like I usually do, a meter.
I'm asking if you would use the softbox with this light.
Could you use a softbox with this light? Okay, so here's where tungsten lights start to suck. They are hot, right? Which means that any softbox that you put on them must be able to take the heat, which means that softboxes for tungsten lights tend to be expensive. So, while this is an awesome solution, if a softbox is what you desire, this is going to end up costing you, right, on that end of it. That being said, you could use an umbrella, which is what I typically would use with this, and that's great, right? But before I do that, I'm going to feather the light off the wall a bit.
Ooh.
I know, to get a little gradation back there. I know, right? We're all about the feather. We like the feather, yeah. We're all about the feather today. Yeah. So I'm going to feather the light. I also like to light myself because I generally have an audience watching me, and it's nice to have light on me. So you guys can see what I'm doing. So now I'm looking at my exposure again, changing it, wondering why the camera won't just do it for me. Now we have a darker background. She's still a little bit hot. The meter likes you to be hot. All right, so I'm going to underexpose by a smidge. There we go. All right. Now I've got a dark background, right? And we can definitely see this is a hard light because look at like the shadows from her eyelashes. Look at that eyeball. Look at how big it is. No, that's my camera set to my mic. Okay, dark background. Why is the background dark? Because none of the light is affecting my shot that's in this space right now. I'm taking control of my space. I often say this with flash. Now, I wasn't able to, can we turn the house lights up? Let's turn the house lights up to ask some questions. I feel like Oprah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's say I can't turn the lights off, right? Now what's gonna happen? Let's see what it looks like. Black and white we can also do. I'll put my black and white sensor in my camera. All right, that's really pretty, hold. Okay, so we're still overpowering it, right? Because you turned it off.
Oh, I thought you were doing a black and
I was
white.
like, wow, I'm surprised.
I thought you were doing black and white.
No, I'm not doing that. No. I got to stay focused, otherwise I'll never do what I'm supposed to do. Okay. All right, so here we go. So I'm looking through the camera now, and it still says underexposed. So let's see if we're actually still overpowering the light. Not so much, right? Now the light in the space is affecting our shot, right? We're getting a little bit of this kind of cast on her skin. We're getting a blue background, right? We always do a blue background at least once per session. This is the blue background, right? You got it. Why is this background blue? Sad?
Because you're compensating for
The background is blue because these fluorescent lights that are lighting us in here are daylight balance. And this is tungsten. I know, right? Nuts. So, let's do a black and white shot though, because that's a good idea. All right, let's kill the overheads, please, good sir. Garçon. That means like waiter or something, right? Okay, I don't know that. What's that? You don't like black and white?
Hey, I'm always in black and white.
Yes, you are always in black and white. Weren't you even in the black and white dialogue that we did?
Yes.
Yes. All right, so there she is. I'm going to come over to capture one. Oh, that's actually a really nice exposure. Huh, every once in a while I get a good exposure. My standards are low. All right, here we go. I'm going to go over to my styles. I'm in capture one again. I'm going to look at my... Where are my styles?
Go up.
My styles are missing.
That's weird.
Okay.
Nothing's going on.
Well, so I can also come over here and go to the black and white mode. Boom, enable black and white. And then I can tweak it. I can be like, I like red filters, or I can be over here, I like yellow filters. And you can adjust to your taste and then save it as Cadence black and white. Yeah, I have somehow lost all my filters. But there you go, that's a black and white shot. It is really nice for that. Hard light typically looks good in black and white, so if you're into that kind of stuff, you're good to go. I did update it, and perhaps the update did not carry over any styles, which is kind of bizarre. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Do you guys wanna watch while I figure out what my styles are? Probably not. All right. Okay, that's wonderful, but let's make the light a little bit softer now, right? Let's talk a little bit softer, because most people aren't going to want to shoot this style all the time. You bought your $70 light, you're like, hey, I'm ready to go. And then you shoot this and they're like, oh, that's all you can do. So now, we're gonna bust out an umbrella.
Ooh.
This is by the way, this is the Smith Victor Thrifty, I think it's what it's called, Photoflood. This is the Lowel Tota-Brella, made in New York. Really, like not me making it up. They make them in Long Island. Did I say that right? No, not really. Long Island. Lowell is a professional, like tungsten movie lighting company. They're kind of, they're the like entry into professional. They're not super expensive, but they're good quality stuff. This is the Tota-Brella. It is heat resistant. It also is like 15 bucks, so pretty inexpensive. You can shove it through this little thing here and make it work with the Photoflood, but you have to knock out a little hole in there, and then they'll make me buy it. So as much as I love you guys, I'm not going to do that. But I am going to have a volunteer to just hold it. Don't burn your hand, because I don't have any insurance. Okay. All right, can we kill the overheads?
Just don't grab out.
Yeah, maybe put it a little bit closer. Okay. And point it down at her. There we go. Oh, look at that. All right, now let me look at my meter again. Oh, this is nice. It's almost too good to shoot. All right, here we go. I'm going to go a little bit underexposed because oh, I think you blinked. You blinked. No charge for that one. All right, here we go. All right. There we go. Okay, you can relax with the thing. Okay, so now, right? Soft. Hard. Right? Each one has their place, and each one is good, and for a couple extra bucks, you can change one to the other, right? That's basically what we got going on here. So we're making the light softer because we're making the light larger, and that's all you gotta do. An umbrella is a simple tool to do that. Yeah, simple as that, right? That was easy, right? Was it too easy? Did I do it too fast?
Why it's so small?
Why is it so small? Because it's awesome. Okay, so why is it small? Well, I think it's the reason why it's small, if you really want to know, is because the way that Lowell's lights are designed is all based on friction. So if the umbrella was too heavy, it would probably tilt. But I like it because it's the right size for a portrait. You know, I think sometimes we waste light by having gigantic light sources that we don't need, right? I know I'm going to put it close to her. I know I'm not shooting her full length. I don't need to have a giant umbrella that's going to eat up all my light. I only have 250 watts worth of light here, right? I'm environmentally sound, right? So yeah, that's it. That's the reason why I got such a small umbrella. But you can get bigger ones if you want. You know, if you feel like you need to have a big umbrella and be like, my umbrella's big, then you can do that. And also if you're going to use it for full length stuff. But this is why we have different sized tools. I mean, I know that, especially since we're in the inexpensive lighting class, you know, it's easy to be like, I just want to buy one thing and be able to do it all. But really, each tool does its own thing. This is just right for a portrait. It's the right size. It's the most efficient way of doing it. And you saw I barely changed my exposure at all. If I used a 60-inch umbrella, I would have lost another stop and a half light or whatever. And all of a sudden, I'm talking about battling, you know, shutter speed with her moving. So yeah, I think it's a good size. That's the answer to that. So does that make sense? Easy, right? Simple? Cool. I like me some Photofloods. Now, to answer the questions, yes, they get hot. Yes, I do want to touch it right now. You know, you take that into account. Yes.
Have you seen daylight balance?
Oh, look at you. He's good. I got the ringer in the audience. So they do make Photofloods that are blue. They're legitimately blue. They're the same bulbs. They are painted with color correct blue. They make them only 4,500 Kelvin though. They're not quite daylight, but they're close enough. So if you want to mix it with a window or something, you get the blue ones. You might say, hey, I just want to always shoot daylight balance because that's how I roll. No. Unless you need to mix them, don't buy those bulbs. They're more expensive, and because they're literally painted with blue paint, they last a lot less time. So only buy those when you need to. The other thing you can do is you could throw a gel on the front of it, color temperature blue. to adjust if you want to mix.
Do you prefer a shoot-through umbrella or reflective for this?
Okay, do I prefer a shoot-through umbrella or a reflective? It depends on what we're doing. For a portrait, I generally like shoot-through umbrellas because for a portrait, I generally want soft light. Why is a shoot-through umbrella softer than the reflective one?
I don't know. Because it diffuses.
Because you sat in the front. No, it's not because it diffuses the light. Diffusing the light doesn't make it softer. What makes it softer?
Size.
Size.
Size, too.
So why is a shoot-through umbrella, hold on, I'll demonstrate. Here we go, no, you got this, you're gonna get this, you got it. Why is a shoot-through umbrella softer than a reflective umbrella? Shoot-through.
Because basically all the light goes through that, as opposed to the reflector also has a direct. That's the best they got.
Because it's bigger. It's closer, so it's bigger. It's closer, so it's bigger, right? Size relative to your subject. That's key, because if I have a 60-inch umbrella, but I back it up 10 feet, that's going to be harder than this umbrella really close, right? Size relative to your subject. By having the umbrella closer, it's going to be bigger. Bigger is going to be softer. That's the reason why. It's also more diffuse because you're shooting it through diffusion. Diffuse has to do with your highlights, which is good, especially if you're shooting something that's shiny and you do not want it to be shiny.
When you say it's going to be bigger, what do you mean exactly? What is it that's bigger?
The umbrella.
The umbrella itself? Because it's closer, it's bigger?
It is amazing, right? I know, it's weird. So yeah, this is the truth, right? So if you take something and you move it closer to you, right, it's bigger, right, relative to you, right? I'm looking back there and I see this Sony sign that's probably like 8 or 9 feet across. I mean, I can block it easily with my finger. If I walk up to that sign, I can't block it, right, because it's bigger. So size, that's the reason why it's going to be softer. Okay. That being said, if you're trying to shoot a group or something, reflective umbrellas are much better because they spread the light out more. They have more spread as well. Okay, questions besides that? That was a good question, though. No, all right. Let's go to Flash, right? Everyone wants to use Flash? You guys like Flash? All right, here we go.
You guys like
They like Flash. I don't know which one costs less. This one, right? I think I want to go up in price. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go by price. So this is $80-ish. Okay. Something like that. You like that? Nice and bright. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say. Here's the thing. When you shine a bright light, I know I'm about to ask you a question. You're getting worried. I'm moving down now. You've already been tortured. Yeah, you're blinded. When you shoot a bright light in somebody's eyes, or you're outside, what happens to their eyes? That's right. So you get more color, right? So if you're in a dark space and you blast, and this black and white photo you can see, you blast her with a bright light, and look at all that creamy chocolate eye.
Thank you.
Right? Right. It's beautiful, right? If you were only shooting her in a strobe in a dark space, it'd be all kinds of black with a little bit around, then you'd be in Photoshop trying to add color. I don't need to go in Photoshop and saturate that. Look at her eye. That's right out of camera, right? Done. I'm lazy. All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to try not to trip. It's all based on laziness. All right, so this is a Flashpoint Studio 400 R2, D2. It is a monolight, meaning that it is a flash that is completely self-contained. You plug it in. Mostly everything's a monolight these days, so I don't know why I even describe it anymore. Because there is something called pack and head, which is a whole other thing. You only see that in the really high-end stuff. All right, so I'm going to plug it in, because it's a plug-in light. It beeped. That's a good sign. All right, so this works with the radio system. Flashpoint, by the way, is Adorama's brand. So you get a good warranty or whatever, I guess. It's got, well, I mean, you can trust Adorama, I guess, right? Versus buying some junk. All right. It's got this sleek black finish. No, this is like 139, I think. So that's pretty cheap. Deluxe on-off switch. Okay, so there's a radio somewhere. Here it is. I feel like all right, so you can use their radio transmitter, which is this guy here, with it. This also acts as a remote for any old cable boxes. So you can do, I'm going to show it.
Is that the Gavin Hoey light system?
Is this what Gavin Hoey uses? I don't think so. I think he uses the better, the 600s, yeah, which are more expensive. It's Gavin, you know. He also used to use the one that's like a quantum.
He uses that
Oh, we're going to use the other one too when we get up there in price. Gavin rolls. He rolls. I mean, he doesn't roll in this. You know. This is the inexpensive one. This is where we want to start. Okay, so I've got groups and channels, which means I can set these up. I have a whole bunch of them. I can program them to match up with my controller and control multiple lights. That's what we got with that. You've got power, 116. Is that as low as it goes? 116 all the ways to 1. So full power, half power, quarter power, etc. Right? So we can control it that way. Does this have TTL? I think it has TTL as well.
This does not have TTL.
This does not have TTL.
That's a TTL remote, but that does
Ah, gotcha. Okay. So TTL means through the lens metering. So if you had TTL, then when you make the shot, your camera would work with the light to get a correct exposure. We're not going to have that, so we're just going to have to guess. Or I'll use a light meter. Buzz, light year. You got a modeling light. What's nice about the modeling light is you can add, you can see where your light's falling, right? So I have a modeling light. I can aim it at Erica.
Okay.
So I can see where my light's falling. You could, in theory, shoot with this. Yes, it is actually tungsten or whatever, but I don't know if the modeling light is scheduled to be exactly the right color temperature, so be wary of that. It's not tremendously bright, though, because you can see she's not suffering. So,
You
all right.
know.
Yeah, that's a failure. So now this is a 7-inch-ish, 6 or 7-inch reflector, which is going to be a fairly hard source, right? So we're going to modify the light to make it softer. One great thing about flash is that you have power, right? This is going to be a very powerful light. It says 400 on the side. That probably means something. So we're going to be able to put like a big box on it. I'm assuming that means 400 watt seconds, but you never can tell. It says prop. All right, that's modeling light proportional. All right, here we go. There's also a USB back here, so if you want to charge your iPhone, I mean, you can totally do that. All right, so.
I think that was for an old trigger system.
Yeah, probably. All right, so I'm going to go here. Seth says easy to use. So I legit have never used this before because that's how I roll. So I'm going to go to groups. Nope. Yeah.
Can you just mention that you're going to use the eVOLV 200 later?
I'm going to use, the next thing I'm going to use is called eVOLV 200, which is the little like electric razor thing in the back. All right, so this one's on group A. So I'm going to set my group to be A. I'm going by price, so if you want the like more sleek, cool stuff, you got to wait till the end. All right, that's it, I guess. It's at 1/8. Set. Oh, that's on channel 1. I need to change my channel. All right, so I'm going to channel 3. Okay, apparently you got to cycle through this. I'm going to change it to A. Boy, there's a lot. Really? It has every possible thing? Hold it. Nope, that doesn't do it.
Let me go back to letters.
Nope. Hey, there we go. All right. Don't miss the one you want. I'll just say that right now. All right, there we go.
Hi.
And that was only 1/8 power. All right, so
Actually, yeah.
this is a pretty powerful light. I'm going to turn it down to all the way. Oh, no, hold on. The remote tells me I can go lower than 16.
No, it can't. The light can't.
Oh, but it can't. Okay.
That's because that's a pro remote.
This is a pro remote. I don't mess around with these like non-pro remotes, I guess. All right, here we go. This is fun. All right, so 16, here we go.
So we fired at full blast in the first one. It was set at 4.
So apparently when you put it on top of the camera, it fires a couple times to make sure you know the model's awake.
I'm here.
Yeah, she's there. We're gonna point it right at her grill. So I'm at 16th power. Let's use a light meter. Man, when I say let's use a light meter, I expect everybody in the audience to reach for their pocket. Come on now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to, you guys have probably seen this before, I'm gonna go to 100 ISO, right? Why? That's how I roll. 100 ISO is the lowest ISO within my normal range. I'm gonna go to 250th of a second because 250th of a second is the fastest speed at which my camera syncs. Then I'm gonna meter the light. Now, normally I set the camera and then I adjust the light, but I'm kind of curious as to how much light I got out of this thing, so I'm gonna actually read it like this. I'm in what they call non-corded flash mode, or I will be in a second, there we go. So when I press this, it's now waiting for a flash. I'm gonna grab my remote, which apparently doesn't come off. Okay, here we go. There's the test button, there we go. I'm gonna point it at the light, because that's what Gavin does. 16, right. That's not bad. So guess what? I'm shooting at f16 because I can't turn it down anymore. What, you don't think that's right? Seth's looking like that's not right, so I'm going to try it again. 11.6.
Yeah,
11.6. Okay, so maybe it had a little extra energy in there.
yeah, the capacitors. Yeah.
Okay, now it's going to 11.5. Maybe if I keep doing it, it'll keep going down. 11.7, okay. All right, so we're like in the range of 11.5 to 11.7, so we'll say 11.6. Yeah, that seems fair. So 11 and a half, right? Or 13 or 14 or one of those ones.
There it goes.
You get a bonus flash there. All right, there you go. All right, again, once you're setting, we're metering it, we're setting our base exposure, let's see what we get. Now I can tell you this, if I don't use the flash, get ready for it to fire again. I'm gonna take it off my shoe. It likes to, I keep getting that caught on my. All right, so I'm gonna go 250 on my camera.
Mark Wallace likes your shirt.
Hey, Mark, thank you. All right, so I'm going 100 ISO. I got F13, because lucky 13, right? 250 to the second, I'm gonna take a shot with no flash. I did that on purpose. I know you guys are looking at me like I'm crazy, because I wanna make sure that none of the light in the space is affecting my shot. It's not, that's a fingerprint. Okay, good. All right, so now we know everything we're getting is from this bad boy. Get ready for it to fire. There we go. You can actually play with that like that. That could be a good technique. All right, here we go. Oh, she's got her flash. She's got her flash face on now.
I'm ready.
Now she's going to be black and white because we have it set to black and white. Also, when I take the black and white off, what's she going to be? Probably blue, right? Because I didn't change my white balance. I don't think either. All right, so let's go back and let's reset. Yeah, she's a little cool. She's a cool lady. Let me just take another one. You can change it and capture one, but that just is a lot of work. All right, so we're gonna go flash. All right, there we go. Now she looks Eric-y. Now we've got nice hard light, crispy. Look at how crispy that is, right? You can already see her, she's getting more black in her eyeball because it's getting darker down here, right? So what we need to do is shine that bright light at her and then turn it, no, we don't want to do that, okay. You guys aren't as mean as me. Everybody's like, no, don't do that. All right, so now what did we gain here? Control, right? Because remember with the other light, when we turned on the overheads, did you guys notice they're on? We had all that infiltration. Now I got no infiltration. All I'm seeing is this light, right? For $139, no, I'm just kidding. I don't know how much it costs. Actually, that's what it costs. Okay, but we're never gonna wanna shoot with this reflector for this kind of shot. This is gonna be not the most flattering thing in the world. It's a little bit small. You can definitely use hard light for beauty shots. In fact, Mark just did a video on it. See that segue? I'm good segue. But except I think he used a Magnum, which is the best. So, this is how they get you. They're like, I'm gonna sell you an inexpensive light. It's only $139.43. But you need this. And this is $8,000. No, this is actually pretty expensive too. I think it's like $79. This is a ParaPop 38-inch softbox. Okay? Is 38 more than 7? Is 38 more than 7? Yes. So it's going to be softer. That's right. So this is, I should know what this costs. Do we know how much this costs? I think it's like
100 plus
over $100?
for that one, yeah.
Oh, forget it. No, okay, so whatever, it's $100. Because we got the big one. So this is like a process where you build it. It's almost like cracking your knuckles. So like you got to be like dramatic. So I'm going to take the softbox. I'm going to build it for you guys. Oh, it gets harder as it goes. It's like one of those video games. All right, there we go. Now, grid cloth in the front, going to make it more diffused. $169. That's not bad. $300, you get this whole kit. No extra charge. All right. I think the square one's cheaper though, right? Yeah. This has these special ParaPop technologies, TM.
It says it right on the side there.
Yeah, it says right on the side. So I'm going to turn off my modeling light because I shouldn't be dangling around with the modeling light on. No, I'm not. There we go. And I'm going to stick this in here. Okay. That is the first time and probably only time you'll ever see somebody put a softbox on the right way. Because Because everybody picks a softbox up and shoves it on the front of the light. That's how you're supposed to do it.
You have a cartoon of it.
I do have a cartoon of it, actually. There's a cartoon of me doing it, believe it or not. All right, so I'm not going to get my commission from Flashpoint because it's up. Their words are upside down, but I don't know how to turn it, so we're out of it. Okay, so big light, right? It's going to be soft, right? So let's bring it in.
Soft time.
What else is this going to do to my light besides make it softer? Thank you, Seth. It is going to decrease the shadow. It's going to change the shadow pattern. It's going to eat some light, right? So I now need to meter it again.
You just hang it on the light stand.
I would hang it on the light stand.
Do it like Gavin does.
Is that how Gavin does it?
Well, he's better photographer than you, so.
Well, that's true. This is the encouragement. By the way, if you only knew how much Seth tortures me up here.
Do not.
I thought you turned off the sleep mode. It was asleep. All right, here we go.
I torture you, huh?
Everybody be nice to each
All
other.
right, now we're at f4.8. I'm hiding behind this thing, which means that I could just open up my lens, right? But I got all kinds of power. I'm only 116, so 4.8, and I want to be like 16.8, so that's 5.6.8, 8.6. All right, so that's like 3 stops. 3 or 4 stops. Oop, I lost track. I'm just going to have power.
I think Mark Walsh is stealing your thunder in the chat room.
Uh-oh. Huh, I did it. All right. 11.8, right? But I was 11.6 before, right? I'm going to knock it down to a quarter plus 7. Look at that. Let's see if that works. This is bright, right? 11.4. All right, we're...
So bright. You never know. Keep me on my toes.
She's like, wait for it, wait for it. All right.
Ready.
Actually, if you don't have the cash to buy like one of these lights right now, at least pick up a remote so you can walk around to various studios and start setting people up. It's fun. Okay.
Ready to go again?
All right, here we go. Oh, it didn't fire that time.
Weird.
Hey.
Little box did it.
Why is that? Okay. All right, here we go. All right, now we've got the softbox. Ooh. No softbox, softbox. No softbox, softbox. Right? The light's spread out more, right? It's a beautiful flow. I kind of think it needs, yeah, it's nice. It's nice,
It's all right.
but I think we can get better. So we're gonna move it more to the front.
Okay.
Okay, like that. Well, the beauty of the octagon-shaped box is it's easy to shoot under it like this. See, I'm doing that? A little trick there, right to the corner. And if you want to get a vignette, you can just, okay. Nice, right? Now it's getting more even on her face, a little more glowy. Yeah, I'll move that little hand. It's nice. Needs something else, right? What does it need? Brooklyn reflector, exactly. So, yeah, let's go with the silver Brooklyn reflector.
Yes.
It's weird. I've been shooting with the 85 all day. This feels so wide. Let me come closer. Let me get a little closer. There we go. Fill that frame. I don't have enough megapixels. Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Seth with the Brooklyn reflector.
Came in clutch.
All right. All right, so,
Yeah, appreciate it.
boom. Little Brooklyn action. Kick it in. Right. All right, so let's do it without it first, though, so we can just see the difference. That was good, though. Well, people like to see the difference. Is there like a laser coming out of the front of my camera? When did that start happening?
Yeah,
or is that coming out of that thing?
Definitely.
Coming out of the,
Okay, so that's no Brooklyn reflector. And then we're going to go silver Brooklyn.
Want to do it? No?
Yes? No, I'll do it like this because Seth holds it himself. Silver Brooklyn action, and hold on, white Brooklyn action.
Ooh.
well, they gotta be about right.
Oh, interesting. All right, black Brooklyn, where is it? Nope, we don't have negative fill.
Black one?
It's not going to do anything. All right, so, oh, and we have negative fill.
He's positive.
He's, yeah. He's feeling down on himself. It's okay, Phil. Okay, good. There we go. Negative fill, right?
I want you to notice those expressions are pretty much the same.
Yeah, you held the perfect expression because you are skilled.
Yeah.
No, it's not exactly the same, but it's close.
Close though.
Okay, that's Seth's Brooklyn. That's no Brooklyn. Silver Brooklyn. white Brooklyn, black Brooklyn, right?
We're waiting for Brooklyn Reflector Kickstarter.
We're gonna need, actually, this is Coney Island. We need different parts of Brooklyn. Flatbush.
Flatbush.
Is that Flatbush? No?
I'm making fun of DIY
Uh,
my channel.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So actually, Seth did a whole DIY channel on his YouTube channel how to make those. Basically, buy a piece of cardboard. But if you guys want to watch a 20-minute video of Seth doing it, that's good. All right. Okay. So questions about that? Questions, thoughts, concerns? Pretty good, right? This is not the least expensive thing in the world because Seth made me get the expensive one, but it's pretty inexpensive. I mean, $300-ish to produce an image like this. It comes with Erica. I mean, come on. Yes, question.
Are the adapters kind of a standard thing? So if you change the light or you change the, are they interchangeable or do you have to stick with one brand?
That is a great question. So, are the adapters or are the accessories interchangeable? This is actually what they call a Bowens mount, which is a pretty standard mount. I think Bowens was the only person that wasn't smart enough to like trademark the mount. So like everybody that makes inexpensive lights uses that mount, which means that it's an S mount. Interfit uses it. So yes, if you switch lighting systems and you stay with one that is a Bowens mount, you can use the same stuff. Also, in the case of most softboxes, you can just change the backside. Your hard reflectors are not like that. So if you're growing your kit, right, and this can be important. Let's say that you're all about the hard reflectors, magnums and beauty dishes and stuff like that. You may want to really kind of look forward before you buy anything and try to buy something that has a similar latch-on connection. Something like if you wanted to, let's say, grow in the Elinchrom system, you could buy their D lights, and then grow from there. So, but yes, you can switch them. That's a good question. Yes.
Daniel, the 28 versus the 38-inch, and you talked about that one bigger than the other. Are there situations where you really need the 38? Is the 28
Okay, so the different sizes, right? So the smaller one is less expensive?
right?
Yeah, I mean,
Big enough for
yeah, I mean, is it, okay, so we already discussed that the bigger something is, the softer it is relative to your subject. So how big of a source do you need kind of depends on how much of your subject you're going to show, right? I could do a shot that would be indistinguishable from the one I'm doing right now with the 28 for sure, because I'm only shooting this much of her, right? If I was going to do her full length, let's say, I would have to back the 28 up further than the 38. In that case, it would be harder. So if you're going to do a lot of full length stuff, you probably want to go with the bigger sized modifiers. I would say, though, somewhere in the 28, 30-ish range is a decent size for portrait for most cases. You don't necessarily have to go. This is the one that we had. Yes?
What kind of speed bring for that?
They make a special adapter for it that's called a ParaPop adapter or something.
They're in
It's not like a standard speed rim. It's basically built in.
specific to each box. Piece.
Yeah, these are like built in. A lot of these kind of pop up quickly soft boxes are like that. Yeah.
But what my question is, can you get a standard speed?
You can't put a standard one on there, but let's say that you had Dynalights, you could buy the Dynalight adapter for this, made by them. Yes, you're basically buying into their system when you get these. Any of these like quick setup ones are like that. If you want something more generic, then you need to go with like regular softboxes, which tend to be a little more expensive. Yes.
Could you also buy a speedlight adapter for the box?
Could you buy a speedlight adapter for the box? Do we have like the brand reps in here and they're like, no, I'm just kidding. Yes, perfect.
It actually comes out of the box built for speedlights.
It comes out of the box. This one comes out. This is Seth. So it comes out. They come built for speedlights, but also Glow sells this thing, which is, I mean, in ancient Greece, it was used to torture people. But basically, you can stick your speedlight in here, and you crush it down like this. You're like, I'm crushing your head, and you basically smush it down, and it has that Bowens mount. So yeah, pretty cool, right? It's like a bowling ball. So the Bowens mount is this 3 thing. That's basically called Bowens. It's probably one of the most common mounts for the inexpensive kind of accessories. So yeah, pretty cool. Awesome. Questions? Yes.
What's the difference in the lighting effect between the softbox and an umbrella?
So what's the difference between a softbox and an umbrella? Basically, with the softbox, you're going to get more edge control, right? The softbox is more directional. Thus, you can shape it and control it easier. An umbrella is going to throw the light everywhere with no edges to stop it. So sometimes you want that. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Oh God.
You knew I had to go there. Come on. All right. Yeah, so it depends on what you're doing. Like something like an umbrella, like if people come to me all the time, like I want to shoot a big group, what softbox should I get? And I say, the softbox you should get is an umbrella, right? Because an umbrella is going to be better for that because it throws the light everywhere. But if we're trying to control the light and keep it off the wall and stuff, the softbox is going to have more control, right? Is there a grid for this one? No, the other one had a grid. Okay. I'll go into that after.
I don't think it does a grid.
Actually, let's switch to the other box, and then I'll switch to the more expensive light. Well, how much time do we have? We have time, right? Oh, wow, okay. I'm taking my time. I'm grooving. I'm not going too fast, right? I'm trying to go slow on this one. Should we switch modifiers and switch lights?
It's your demo, kid.
All right, we're going to do it. We're going to switch lights. Seth says we can do it.
You want to do the easy one?
We'll go to the other box, though, when we do it, yeah. We'll do the light and then the box. All right. This is the Timex. No.
Casio.
This is the Casio. This is the Casio electric shaver. No, this is the, what's it called? eVOLV. This is the eVOLV 200, right? That's what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay, this guy is really, really popular. It's got black and white TV that picks up all the stations, UHF and VHF. It's got, no, it's really small. It has interchangeable heads. Actually, this is the flat kind of speed lighty head. There's also a bare bulb head. And I think there's a circle head now that they didn't give me. Do I need to go lower with it? It also kind of looks like a laser gun. Anyways.
It came with an Atari.
It comes with the Atari, exactly. But for as silly as, and we make fun of it, is this thing it's like $200 and something odd dollars? $299?
Oh, three.
$399?
No, three.
It's $300. It is battery powered. It is TTL. It is 200 watt seconds. And yeah, it's pretty, I mean, I've heard it's pretty badass. I actually have never used it before, and I'm about to use it now. So here we go. Should we use this head, or you guys want to go right to the bare bulb?
Use that head.
Use this head. All right, good. So I'm going to turn on the black and white TV.
So it's basically a speed light.
So this is going to be just like a speed light, basically. Oh, actually, it's got like a nice blue tinge to it, like my original Amiga. All right. I'm on B.
Graphing calculator.
My graphing calculator. All right, so.
They're gonna come downstairs.
They're gonna, yeah. You realize this is all Adorama brand. They're gonna I'm gonna get pulled off with like a giant cane. No, it's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna.
The drag hook.
Yeah, the drag hook, exactly. All right. All right, so does this one Gavin uses? If Gavin uses it, it's got to be good. That's all I'm gonna say.
Does it do wireless TV?
Wireless TV. How do I go back to that first screen that you had it on where I could see all the stuff?
What did you do?
I pressed a button. There's no like reset. I also threw a switch on the side. Has that ever done it?
No.
Okay. We're gonna try to go back into the other mode, or I'll just change the light if I have to. This is why, like, a lot of times people talk about, like, it's awesome if your remote does a lot of stuff, but sometimes it can be confusing for people like me that, you know, we didn't grow up with this kind of stuff. I had black and white TV, Atari. No, that's not true, not me. No, just I'll use it like that. Okay, perfect. All right.
Watch that button.
All right, don't touch that one. Oh, TCM. Actually, wasn't that the channel that had? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. Oh, no, I'm thinking TMC. No, TCM, right?
TCM is Turner Classic Movies.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm getting some, no, don't worry about Erica. All right.
Pure of heart, Erica over here.
All right, so B is in TTL, which is what I'm gonna use. A, I'm gonna try to turn off.
Gavin's up.
All right, Gavin, how do I turn off A? How do I turn off A? How do you turn A off? Hold on, I know how to turn it off. Turn this thing off.
You go to mode, dude. Yeah, look.
I hit mode.
Look, mode off. TTL manual off.
Oh, you gotta scroll once you're there. Okay, gotcha. All right, got it. This is my first day. All right, it's firing. That looks good, right? You feeling it? Okay, good. It's fast recycle.
Ooh, love it.
All right, good. This is TTL. So in TTL, it's like free form. I don't have to care about anything. I just show up on set 5 minutes before I'm supposed to shoot. I'm like, I got TTL, I'm good. I want to point it at Erica. It's like a radar detector. All right, this light is not doing anything, so I'm just gonna raise it really high. Oh, I'm not that high though.
Hey, don't. Oh,
I'm not doing it.
man.
What?
Don't hit that projector.
Oh, the projector's up there, okay. All right, the thing is because if I don't move it, then Seth's gonna say to me in a couple minutes, people online don't know if you're using that light or not.
Well, we prefaced it.
Yeah, I'm prefacing. I'm gonna go like this. How's that?
Perfect.
There we go. All right, so I'm just using the Star Trek laser.
Turner Classic Movies.
Turner Classic Movies.
That's what I said.
No, that's what she said too. No, I'm thinking was the movie channel, so that would be TM's. Okay. All right, I'm in TTL. I'm shooting the light.
Whoa.
Okay. Perfect. So, TTL was like, hey man, Erica's a little cold, so we're gonna give her a lot of light. I mean, it's not uncommon for TTL to be weird on Canon, to be honest with you. Not to blast Canon. All right, so I'm gonna turn the TTL down. Turn the TTL down. There we go. All right, that is exposure adjustment. Here's the thing. I love when I do a demo with TTL and the first shot is terrible. Why? Because people always say to me, I don't use TTL because it's unreliable and it's whatever. Here's the second shot, it's perfect, right? Why? Because I didn't freak out. I wasn't like, oh my God. I just did exposure compensation, not the end of the world, right? Here we are. Now she looks good. She's like, right? But what are we back at? What do we got again there? We got hard light again, right? Back to the hard light. Why is the light hard? Look at it. It's my dad's electric razor. Okay. So we can either make the light bigger by putting a softbox on it, which we're going to do, or we could bounce it. There's a lot of things we could do. Should we try to bounce it? Let's say that you spent $300 on this, so now you're like, I don't have money for a softbox. I mean, $300, you know. All right, so I spent my paper money. Yeah. We're going to bounce it off a board. But we have a Brooklyn reflector. Those are only $80 sold specialty store at Seth's.
You want to just mount it and rip it?
Oh, yeah, sure, if you want to grip it. That's the best way to do it. That stand is awful small, but okay.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna,
Okay, do it.
nah, take
No, do it.
Take off the S-mount.
All right, I'm taking it off. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Because you crush all my reflectors.
You'll get a extra piece of candy at the register when you go leave today.
He's not gonna get in the front. Big responsibility staying in the front row.
This is pretty cool. All right. Oh yeah, there we go. So,
All right.
Brooklyn softbox.
Yeah, pretty much. This is Staten Island.
Staten Island softbox. All right, so I'm gonna take my light.
If you use any garbage, it's Staten Island.
Right. Get the pizza box out. All right. So,
Yeah?
does it have a modeling light?
No. No.
Okay. It does not have a modeling light, so I'm just gonna do the thing that you do, which is pop it. I'm trying to get maximum coverage. Because if you're using something like this, and I put the flash really close to it, and I'm not covering the whole board, I'm really not making it that much bigger, right? So I want to cover the entire board. This board is going to become my light source. And would this cost me? Nothing, because Seth gave it to me. Okay. I'm in TTL, so I don't have to worry about anything else. I'm just like, I'm at TTL, I can just shoot. Bam. The laser came out and hit her in the face. Look at that. I also lit the background. Why did I light the background?
Because you have a broad spectrum of light.
That's right. The light's spreading out, just like as if I was using an umbrella, right?
Do it again.
Oh,
Whoa.
double Brooklyn. All right, we're double Brooklyn in it.
Kings and Queens County.
Boom. Now it's filled in, right? Now, we got our Timex light. We've got our Brooklyn reflector. We go. I keep kicking it. We're moving it around. That's how you add style. Control, right? Because one of the important things here is now, if you run all the ways back to the very first light that we had, that's $70 or anything that you might have laying around that you're using, you can do this with, right? The idea is that you just have to understand how light works. So I want to try the little bare bulby thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to try the bare bulb part because I've never tried that. I'm assuming I have to turn this off before I switch it. And there's an on-off switch on the side. Okay. Now I'm going to open up the little kit that came with it because all good electric razors have a kit. It comes with this. This is the kit. I don't know if you can get it without the kit. They just said, we're getting you the kit. The kit comes with this deluxe box. And,
Oh, there are LED modeling lights in that.
oh, there's modeling lights in, see there?
Yeah, this one doesn't have a modeling light.
Yeah.
Bare bulb.
All right, so we're going to basically,
We're learning together.
yeah.
There we go.
So but as you shove this in here, there's a little red dot and a little red dot, so I'm going to guess that they go together. Okay. Kind of looks like the robot head.
Yeah, it
Yep.
locks it down.
I'm going to tell you the truth right now. If you walk in with this thing with this bare bulb, you can automatically charge more. I mean, look at how cool that is. You'll be like, look what I got. Does it come with like a little reflector? Well, you're just supposed to swing it around like a, okay, we're just swinging it around.
Well, it's meant to fill a 360-degree box.
Yeah, so 360. So we got to put it in the box then. Let's bust out this. Oh, so the softbox, I'm going to use that mount that I've moved 7 times, now I've lost it. There it is. Okay. Please don't squish me. What? Okay, hold on.
Technically, you could put it in the.
Can I just jam it in there? Oh, like that way? Oh, no, I'm not going to do it.
No, I'm saying you put it into the other one, the ParaPop.
This does not feel right. Oh, yeah, I got to loosen it more. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at you, fancy. So now, one advantage of like a bare bulb is that when you put it into a small box especially, because the light from the flash tube is coming out of the sides, it's going to kind of wrap around and be less likely to give you a hot spot. So, yeah, now it definitely looks like a laser gun. All right, so we got all kinds of stuff going on here. I'm going to take this piece off.
You want the grid or not?
Nope, that's not what I wanted. Let's start without the grid.
You want to do it just 100?
Nah, just regular. Just regular softbox.
Special edition.
No special editions. All right, so I got my eVOLV. It's not eVOLV, it's eVOLV 200. If you want more light, you can use the eVOLV 300, maybe. Is there more than one size? I don't think. All right. This is a kind of a standard size softbox. This one is actually 50 bucks-ish, I think. This is much less expensive. He's gonna look it up, but I say it's 50, so if you buy it online and it's more than $50, then just tell them Daniel said you should have a discount. Okay. All right, plop this on here. It might hit her in the head, but if you're gonna hit a model with anything, you should hit them with a softbox because it's soft. Almost went through the whole thing without being able to say it, so I had to throw it in at the last minute. I know it's tough. All right, here we go. Rectangular softbox, 2x3, nice standard size. I'm gonna turn this back on with the hidden switch on the side that says on off. What? 50 bucks for that softbox. 50 bucks. Do I hear 50? Okay. I'm gonna get rid of this.
I'll bring it.
All right, so kind of standard size softbox. I'm gonna put it right here to the 45. Kick it past her. Feels really close, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. All right, there we go. We don't want to overcrowd the model. We don't want her to feel uncomfortable. Okay. I'm going to tune into the UHF channel 13. Local access. All right, here we go. Why didn't I have to do anything else? I'm a TTL, man. Once you got TTL, you just walk around like a boss. You're just like, just take a picture, it just does it. Now, it's a little dark. So I'm going to go back to my exposure compensation. And I'm going to be like, hey, TTL, that's a little bit too dark. Let's see if we can get a better exposure. There we go. Now our acrylic's happy. She's like, TTL is exposing me correctly with an eVOLV 200. Let's say now, though, right? Because you're frugal, right? You're in this class, you must be frugal. You're like, man, you know, I already spent 70 bucks on my Photoflood, and now I got Strobe like a boss, so I'm not really using it so much. I wonder if I could use it together. Oh, you could use it together. And that's what we're gonna do. All right, so I have my Photoflood. And I'm looking at this picture and I'm like, that's pretty good, but as we know, as photographers, a big part of how you can pay or how you charge is how many lights you use. The more lights you use, the more you can charge. So I'm here, getting paid. I want some more money. I'm gonna throw another light in. What do I have? I have this Photoflood. Boom. It's like, your client doesn't know this Photoflood doesn't cost that much. You're gonna charge the same for it. You're not gonna be like, no, I'll charge less. No, charge more. You can go over there. I won't hit you with it, I swear.
Me?
Yep.
Okay.
That wasn't your spot, right?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna do like a little hair light action. Now, this light, of course, is tungsten, which means it's going to be warm and blind her. But I think that's nice on the hair, right? So I'm gonna kind of take it here, and I'm gonna kind of feather it onto her hair, because feathered hair was a big thing in the 80s.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's how you wash yours.
Is that firing? Has it been firing? I turned it off.
I'm just shutting it
Okay, we could use it though, a little roof fill.
Well, do you want to do an overhead bounce and then do a key hair and then fill in from the top?
Yep.
Or we could bounce back into here.
No, I'll fill from behind me, I think,
Okay.
if it fits.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, so I got this here. I got the hair light set up. I'm looking at it. Now, she's going to favor the softbox, right? And I know that, so I'm good to go. If she was looking straight at me, I got to be careful I don't hit her in the nose with the hot light, right? So, we'll take a shot. Now, you already know what's going to happen here, right? What happened? Paid all that money, 75 bucks, did nothing. Why? Because I'm at 250 at f13 at 100 ISO. Yeah, the tungsten light's not bright enough. So what do I got to do? Got to compensate. Now, does this one go down in power more?
What are you at?
I'm in TTL, so I don't know. I'm just going to try.
Well, you can throw it into manual. That's what the TCM is for, actually. It turns it into manual at the point of which you're...
I'm going to drop my, I'm going to do a little test here because I've never used this light before. I'm going to go to 5.6 just to see if the light is completely freaky.
Yeah.
No, that's perfect. All right, so I'm going to go to F4.
Well, there's the hair light.
Yeah, hair light's coming in. I'm going to go to F4. Oh, is it already? Not? Yeah, it's just, I'll give it a little more. There you go. All right, so what happened there?
It's autumn sunrise.
We got a little hair light action going on, right? Charge a little extra for that. It's warm even without having to use gels because it's a different color temperature. So I'm like, let me give you a little warm hair light. Done. Right? So I'm going to raise it slightly. Nice. Now I could, if I wanted to, do a little bounce. Now, if I put my bounce, I don't know, can you see from above? Maybe do the, yeah, perfect, oh, thanks. If I go like that, I'm gonna block it, right? If I go like that, I might get a little bit of both. Maybe a little bit. I'm living the dream. Oh, little mixed light.
Look at that.
Look at that, that's perfect for her LinkedIn profile.
There you go.
All right, so,
You're going to swipe right.
you don't swipe right on LinkedIn.
No?
No.
Is that how they hire you?
Yes. All right, so that looks nice, and actually you could do that, but going back to my previous point about being paid more for more lights, and the fact that I already have this light here, and it's round, and people love round stuff, I think we should use it. We're gonna pull it behind me. Right? It's true though. All right, thank you. There's lots of cords.
Okay,
You're not-
hold on.
you're still-
Hold
yeah.
on.
Gotta
Sir,
go.
sir, sir.
All right. The most important thing to do when you're on set is just start doing stuff that's dangerous, and then people just do it for you. You just stand there.
It's that feeble old man syndrome.
All right,
Ready?
I'm gonna put it right behind me.
Yeah, but you want to do like...
Yeah, boom, right behind my head. As close as possible to the background. So I'm gonna do a on-access fill because Seth loves on-access fill and so do I. Negative fill is sometimes negative, but on-access fill is really, he's there always on access.
Yes.
So, on-access fill. Okay, whenever you're using another light as your fill versus using the reflector, you always have the risk that you might throw extra shadows, right? You start putting another light in there to fill the shadow, that light could throw a shadow. So, if you do an on-access fill, meaning directly behind the camera, where are my shadows going? Straight back, right? So assuming that they don't hit the background because of the distance, which I think we should be fine, that's gonna never give me extra shadows crisscrossing on her face. It's just gonna fill in the shadows nice and evenly. A great tool for that is a ring flash too, if you wanna go there. Those aren't for the inexpensive lighting class though. This is a good way to do it. It's simple. You could also, if you had a white wall behind you, you could also just bounce the light off the wall behind you.
you're at a 16.
Okay. This one only has so much ability to change, right? So we might have to do a little math, which I don't mind because, you know, I was good at math when I was a kid. Did it fire?
Wait, you're not tethered?
You might not because we unplugged it.
Oh, yeah, it did. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, hold on. What?
Are you tethered?
I think so. Didn't the shot just appear when I did that? Or am I crazy?
You're crazy, it's not.
No, there it is. Yeah, of course it did.
Not going
Oh, you know what? The tether, this is...
Oh, all right. So I'm impressed, but you guys are like, what?
Sorry.
Yeah, show them my terrible composition. I did that on purpose. Okay.
Deer in the headlight.
She looks very scared. Okay, here we go. All right. So now we've got on-axis fill, right? She's filled in. I don't have to worry about the reflector, holding it or whatever. She's got nice stuff there. I can do like a self-portrait.
She's got nice stuff.
She has nice stuff. I can see myself in there, so I can be like self-portrait by Daniel, right? That's filling in. Let's do just that light. Oh, okay. This is yeah. This is why I have battery-powered lights. I'm just going to point that out right now. I used to always have corded lights, but so I'm going to turn off B. So B mode. Nope, that didn't do it. Oh, this button is mode. There we go, okay.
See where it says mode?
I was pressing above the line button, not below it. Okay, now I understand their system. So let's just see what the fill plus the hair light looks like. Okay, so that's our fill. That's the fill light, right? Okay. It's actually more than I thought it was going to be, but it actually looks pretty good. If you go to do something and it just it doesn't look the way that you thought it was going to look, but it's still good, then don't worry about it. No, it's more than I thought it was going to be. I was surprised. All right, good. That's nice. Now, because this light is basically turned down as much as it can go, for the most part, if I needed to adjust this ratio, I would have to work with this light, because that's kind of how you got to do it, right? So let's say I wanted less fill. I could turn this light up, and the way I could do that is just by changing my aperture, right? Because this one's in TTL. So I could go like this. Hey, I'm going to change my aperture to 5.6. Boom. I know what to think, Erica. So I do that, and that's fine, right? That reduced the amount of fill. But what also happened? Now my hair light went away, right? Because my hair light looked good at f4, but my hair light is not adjusting up and down. But I can change my hair light without affecting the flash now by using just my shutter speed. So I'm going to go to 125, because your shutter speed doesn't really affect your strobe. Good. And that's back, right? That was the confusing part at the end to make you come to my next class. So you can learn it. No, I'm just kidding. You see how I did that? It's all about the exposure triangle. You can watch Mark's video, which I pitch every time, about the exposure triangle. But now we've got a balance, right? We have 3 lights going on, charging the most we can possibly charge, several different inexpensive lights.
So you can buy expensive lights.
There you go.
Yeah. Then you use all these lights, you make your cash, and you can buy expensive lights. There you go, if you want. Or you keep using these, why not? Questions, thoughts, concerns? Is everybody excited? Was it any more exciting that I was using less expensive lights? Was that very exciting for people? Yes.
I see you adjusted the speed
Mm-hmm.
for the hairline.
I did.
Why don't you just move it in?
I could also have moved it closer, but if I did, it would change the way it... Okay, so you can move your light closer, which is the inverse square law. But as soon as you move your light, you're changing where it covers, the amount of spread it has, how hard or soft it is. So I usually don't do that unless I have to. That's why I didn't move it. That's a good question, though. Other questions? Yes.
When you use like high contrast light, the eyes look really good. Is there a way to add that with the fills?
Oh. Listen, I wouldn't normally do this, but for you, I will do it. So the question is, well, basically, you like the way the eyes look with the high contrast light, with the punchy hard light, right? So I like that, but I don't want so much. You want the fill, basically. You want to see detail. Yeah, you can definitely do that. All you gotta do is use a hard light here. So let's. Yeah, let's just tear the front open. That should give us a punchier light. Actually, if I really wanted to be a boss, I would use the tungsten light. But I don't, so I'm not gonna. Because this is not gonna be as hard because it's.
I mean, do you want the inner? Or
No, I'd rather just use.
you want to just pull it?
Just pull it, yeah. Let's see what happens. What we really need to do is put a reflector on it, but we don't have one, so. Oh, the grid's not gonna make it. Okay. We'll see what this does. I'm in TTL, so it should adjust.
It's a harder light.
Yeah, it's a little harder. It's punchier. It's never going to have that kick through though without using a hard reflector, but you could do it, yes. But I have to tear the whole set apart, and I don't like you that much. Like I like you, I think you're a nice guy, but come on. No, I'll do it really quick. I'm just going to go back to the shaving mode,
The shaving mode.
Norelco.
What we do?
Yeah, put the Norelco on there. Thanks, Erica. All right. Busting out the Norelco. Yeah. It's a wet dry.
It's a wet dry.
I do my legs with it.
You do your legs with it?
They make a pink one. It's like twice as much as the exact same razor. Oh, look. There's a lot of quarter 20s on this thing.
Yeah, there are.
It's like, you know how we can add value? Lots of quarter 20s.
We got these left over from the lamp factory. Let's put these.
I don't know what these are, but no, it's actually good because you can mount it in a bunch of different ways. It does have LED lights to make the model feel like creeped. All right, here we go.
I'm done with both.
All right, how's that look? Let's see. I'm using the Monolight so I can kind of see it. Again, I'm in TTL, so it should adjust automatically. Better shutter? How's that?
Whoa.
Still not there.
Is the LED reading because you're dragging a bit?
Maybe. Let's turn it off. I have no idea how to turn it off, so I can't. Better? Not quite there. She needs a lot more light in her eyes to get the blue to come out, so we'd have to use a tungsten light. But yes, you can. You see we're getting close.
Yeah.
You don't believe me. I'll turn the fill off. He doesn't believe me that this is the same. See, I know that the hard light's hitting her. This is how you know, by the way. These shadows and this, right? Yep. I'm in TTL. Turn that off. I'm going to turn off the fill so you guys can see that we can start.
Oh my lord. Daniel.
What are these wires?
Where am
Been
I?
there the whole time.
What am I doing? How did I get up here?
What is this place? All right, I'm turning off the fill light. Okay. No, I didn't. It says it's on. Maybe you turned it off. It's B, right?
What happened here?
B is TTL, channel 3.
This is A. Channel A.
Okay, well then that one turned off on its own.
Hold on. It's on channel 3, group B, TTL.
Perfect, that's what I want. I think it reset itself when we turned it off. The one behind me didn't fire, right? Yeah, there we go. There's your hard light, right? But you see, her eyes don't have quite the oomph, and the reason for that is the tungsten light was opening them up. So you got to blind her first. Get yourself a mag light and be like, ugh, and that will do that. But yes, you can combine the lights though, so you can see how that works. Okay, questions besides that? I actually did a demo on hard light
Last week.
last time I was here 2 weeks ago. So if you go on to youtube.com/Adorama TV or go to my YouTube, Daniel Norton Photographer, and go under Live for Adorama, there's a hard light demo where I do a lot more of that kind of stuff. So you can kind of check that out. So on that note, questions? Any questions before we wrap? Because we're 6:30. Okay, we're good. Okay, good. All right, guys. This is I'm gonna be back a few weeks in December. It's not up yet, but check adorama.com/events to know when events are coming up. Seth's here on Monday. This Monday coming up.
Yeah, I'm doing ghosting.
So Seth's gonna do special effects stuff, which is really fun. So come for that if you can. It's probably gonna stream on Facebook, or definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's going to stream on Facebook. So look 5 o'clock on Monday. If you guys come in, it's much better to be here. But you can stream if you guys are online. If you don't already, follow me on Daniel Norton Photographer on YouTube. You can see me there. 1,200 sessions. Where you can see me and Seth do stuff together. You can buy a shirt.
There you go.
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. All the money that you save on these lights.
You can buy a shirt.
I mean, but yeah, seriously. Like I said, there's demos, the previous ones I've done at Adorama, so whatever I'm like, I did that demo, whatever, you can, if you go to mine, I put them all there, so they're easy to find. So thanks, guys, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Sorry, I have those.
What's that?